Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, JFJ to lead a protest against the police killing crisis, demand accountability. Jamaicans for Justice is set to lead a protest later this month against what it says is an alarming rise in police killings in Jamaica. The End Police Violence protest will be held on Tuesday, April 29, 2025 from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Halfway Tree Transport Center in St. Andrew. The event aims to spotlight the escalating crisis of police fatal shootings in Jamaica and demand accountability, justice, and systemic reform. This year alone, 93 individuals have been killed by police, marking a staggering 165% increase compared to the same period in 2024, the JFJ said in a release. JFJ's Executive Director, Michael Jackson, has warned that if this trend continues, the country could surpass its highest record police killing figures, exceeding the 258 deaths reported in 2013, numbers not seen since before the establishment of the Independent Commission of Investigations. According to the JFJ, the protest will bring together victims, their families, human rights advocates, and the concerned citizens to amplify their voices and push for change. Participants will engage in a peaceful rally with placards and chants such as "End Police Violence," "Where are the body-worn cameras?" and "Accountability Now," alongside victim testimonials and solidarity speeches from civil society leaders, the human rights lobby group said. It calls on the public, community groups, and the media to join this critical movement to confront the systemic issues within law enforcement and advocate for a Jamaica where human rights and dignity are upheld for all. Women accused of assaulting female co-worker at the St. James Nightclub remanded. 2 women accused of physically assaulting another woman at a nightclub were remanded in custody when they appeared in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday. Ashika Thomas, otherwise called the Lollipop, has been charged with wounding with intent, while Vanessa Ewers, otherwise called the Sky, is charged with assault occasioning bodily harm. According to court records, on March 29, the 2 defendants and a third female were engaged in a dispute with the complainant at a popular nightclub in Montego Bay, where they are all employed. During the altercation, it is alleged that Ewers and the third woman hit the complainant in the face with their hands, while Thomas stabbed her twice in the neck and once in the arm with a pair of scissors. It is further alleged that Thomas was about to stab the complainant for the third time when the latter managed to fend off the attack by using her phone as a shield against the impending stab. The matter was reported to the police, and Ewers and Thomas were arrested and charged. Following discussions with the court clerk and the investigating officer, presiding Judge Keisha Grant Price remanded the women in custody until April 16, when a decision on bail will be made. Regarding the third female suspect, the police have yet to arrest her. St. James man accused of assaulting wife and daughter has case settled at mediation. A St. James man accused of assaulting his wife and daughter in the streets of Montego Bay had his case settled through mediation when he appeared in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday. James had been charged with 2 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm. According to court documents, in January of this year, James encountered his wife and daughter on St. James Street, where he proceeded to verbally abuse his daughter, alleging that she was siding with her mother in a dispute between him and his spouse. The mother then stepped in, leading to a heated argument between her and James that rapidly escalated. The complainants were in the process of boarding a taxi when James reportedly attempted to hit his daughter. The mother intervened and was punched in the face by James, prompting her to retaliate. In a bid to protect her mother, the daughter intervened and James grabbed her neck, the court document said, adding that amidst the ongoing commotion, onlookers were forced to step in to quell the disturbance. The matter was reported to the police and James was arrested and charged. On a previous mentioned date, the case was referred to mediation, with a subsequent update provided to the court on Wednesday, indicating that the parties had reached a settlement. Presiding Judge Acacia Grant Price scheduled a follow-up hearing for April 23 to confirm James's compliance with the terms of the agreement. Teenager held with ammunition in St. Anne. An 18-year-old man was arrested by the St. Anne police after he was allegedly held with several rounds of ammunition in the parish on Wednesday. Reports are that about 9:30 a.m., the police were on a walkthrough in Pedro River Monique St. Anne when he was accosted and searched. The police say 16 rounds of cartridges and a spent 9mm casing was found in his possession. The Claremont police are investigating the matter. Attorney calls for speedy trial legislation. John Clark, attorney at law and the chairman of Jamaicans for Justice, is calling for the implementation of speedy trial legislation to prevent inordinate delays and ensure accountability in the justice system. Mr. Clark's call follows a feature aired on Tuesday during the discussion segment of Radio Jamaica's Beyond the Headlines. The feature captured the story of a mother whose children perished in a fire 20 years ago and the evidential freeing of two men who had been arrested and charged in 2004 for the murder of the children. The men were freed in January this year after Justice Leighton Pusey explained that the 20-year-old delay in settling the matter was unwarranted and a third trial would be unfair. Mr. Clark said the case warrants a re-examination of the justice system with a view to finding ways to prevent unreasonable delays.
The one hopes that somehow through parliamentary process there will be an examination of the systemic issues of delays in justice system, and one would listen to the Chief Justice on the same program that he calls for certain investment in the justice system, and one would hope that as a nation we can study this issue carefully and hopefully one day implement a speedy trial act which will ensure that we can have our justice actors get it everything that they need to ensure we can have a timely trial and ensure that there's real consequences, because in the absence of consequences, that is when failures can become the norm. So for example, in some countries where it is known by all the actors that this will be completed within a 5-year period, then the ability for late transcript becomes lessened because everybody knows there's a specific timeline, and if the timeline is not met, then there's the possibility large rooms that the entire case may be dismissed.
Senator Donna Scott Mutsley, opposition spokesperson on justice, who also responded on Beyond the Headlines, said the controversial case should be examined to identify what resulted in the delays. She noted that sanctions are applied in the civil court if cases are not ready on time, adding that similar measures could be applied in the criminal court.
The men were arrested and charged in 2004, but they were not convicted until 2010. That's what, 6 years after?
Yes.
An analysis should be done of matters like this to identify exactly what happened. Now, later on in the interview, the DPP points to some of the reasons why, in spite of the Court of Appeal directing that the matter should be heard by 2012, it was not embarked upon until 2014, and in 2018 we were having so many issues. So I think that we have several such cases, and we need to analyze some of the reasons why the delays were so lengthy.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.